Go ahead and get started here since it is 1 o'clock. But welcome to Journey's Additional Services webinar. I am Ashley Faulkner. I'll be hosting today's webinar. And we're just going to go over a little bit more of Journey's additional services. So obviously we have payroll, that's our main bread and butter, but there are a lot of things that I don't think our clients fully understand or even know that we offer. So this will kind of touch on them high level. There are different webinars that we'll be hosting to go in depth a little bit more on some of these. So just keep in mind what we're doing today is just kind of highlighting things, and then webinars down the road will have a lot more information on certain things. So thank you for attending though today. I really appreciate it. We'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first one, background screening services. I am sure a lot of you are in the same boat that we are. When you start a business and decide to start hiring employees, you've got to do background checks, and a lot of people don't know where to start with that. What company do you use? What's credible? What's not credible? And this will kind of give you a little bit more understanding of exactly what options are out there to you. So this is a company that we work with. You just go onto our website, which I did put in the slide there for you, but you can pick things as basic as just kind of skimming the surface. You can go really in depth. You can check driving records. You can check child, if you're working with children, you can get pretty in depth on that side as well, all the way to fraudulent situations. So our line of business is obviously very different from some of your lines of business, but all in all, I think we can all agree that doing those checks really does protect you and your business. So again, you go to our website, you can register. Once you register, you're able to kind of pick the different level that you're selecting, different option. And then from there, it will charge your credit card directly. There's no additional there's no additional price for this service through Journey. So all charges that you will get will come directly from the company, not from Journey. All right. The next one is WOTC. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with WOTC, or maybe you've heard of WOTC, but not necessarily anything behind WOTC. But WOTC is a federal tax credit that is available to employers who hire certain candidates that qualify. So any candidates that you hire that are unemployed veterans, food stamp recipients, felons, ex-felons, there's a list, quite honestly, on the United States Department of Labor website that has more information on who would qualify. But it is something that I would definitely look to check out. It's part of our onboarding process. So if this is something you want to take advantage of, reach out to your payroll specialist. They'll get you in touch with the right person here at Journey. But what's nice is that as you're onboarding new employees, which hopefully you're using our paperless onboarding for that, but as you onboard new employees, it will at that point go through these questions so that they can start, deciding who is available for those credits, who's going to receive them, and then just other basic information that you guys as a company will need to collect in order to make sure you're getting the best benefit for this. So definitely reach out if you think you might qualify or have any questions regarding it, so we can get you started and pointed in the right direction. The next one is HR 360. Everybody that has an online login to our system has an HR 360 user. HR 360 is in your tools. So if you're familiar with your PPX account, it is in your tools, and then HR Resource Center. And it's awesome. I will tell you, we use this here at Journey for a lot of our needs. It'll give you some good information, salary benchmarking, comp plans, recruiting tools, hiring and firing tools, state-specific things, laws, all sorts of training videos that you and your staff can watch. This is all just a very good library of information. However, definitely if you're looking for somebody to come sit with you, somebody that can be in your paperwork with you, that can kind of really dig in and help with anything that might be going on. There's a slew of different things that can happen, and we all understand that. But it's always best if you actually need an HR professional that comes in, please reach out. We have great partners that we work with that we can get you in touch with, and they can definitely, kind of dive in a little bit more with you. This is just a really good tool to use for some good basic information and to kind of get you in the right direction, quite honestly. So if you do not have access to HR 360, if this does not look familiar to you, reach out to your payroll specialist. They'll get you an online login and get you all set up and ready to go. Pay-as-you-go workers' comp. We often get asked, do we sell workers' comp here? Is that part of our package? And no, we're not the broker. We don't sell workers' comp here. However, we do facilitate a relationship with a great partner of ours who can set you up with pay-as-you-go. They do broker all the major carriers, so think about it as a broker partnership as well. They'll kind of search for the best deal, the best rate, the best policies, and get you in the right direction. What's really nice about pay-as-you-go is that it's actually based off of your payroll, not a projected payroll amount. So it's nice to be able to say, hey, I know when I run my payroll reports are going to go to the company and they're going to debit my account for the exact liability. And I don't have to do, an audit at the end of the year that requires a lot of time and energy and paperwork and people, and you know that you're paying what you need to be paying throughout the year. So it kind of eliminates that audit, but it also eliminates some, pretty big risk if at the end of the year they decide you owe them more money. So if you're not familiar with pay-as-you-go, or if you're not currently set up on pay-as-you-go, this is definitely something we'd be happy to get you started with and set up with. There are certain companies that they do, work really well with, and there's certain companies that don't allow a pay-as-you-go. So any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask. We'll definitely get you pointed in the right direction. The fun ACA. So people often, I'm getting this a lot lately in meetings, but people are thinking that ACA is going away, that it's no longer going to be needed, and I don't need to worry about it. And the fact of the matter is we do need to worry about it, and it's, until they completely scrap it and we hear that we don't have to comply, we're going to still move forward as if it is 100% intact, because as of right now, it is 100% intact. So I would really encourage anybody who has questions on ACA, anybody that is not even sure if their company qualifies, if they need to be doing something, let us know for sure. For those of you who are unaware of what our ACA service is, it is a service that allows us to do the tracking and reporting that is required for ACA. So the forms that have to be sent out at the end of the year, much like your W-2s, as well as the reporting on a monthly basis, that is all handled, with us here at Journey. If you're utilizing our services for that, it is something that is taken care of on our side. So we mail out the forms. Again, it's no different than W-2s at the end of the year. We mail them out. We complete them. We are responsible for, making sure the information on them gets correct, or is correct, or gets corrected if not. So definitely reach out, like the rest of this webinar. If there's anything on here that you're not sure if you should be utilizing or taking advantage of, please definitely reach out and let us know so that we can get you set up and going, and or get you more information on the selected service. Next is employee engagement, and we have done webinars on employee engagement before. If you have not been able to view or sit in on those webinars, we do have them. We have a link for them. You can watch them, rewatch them if you need to. But employee engagement is a big topic right now, and how are we engaging with our staff? How are companies keeping a pulse on their culture? What's going on internally? Are there issues that they're unaware of? Are there things going on that they maybe don't know, and they're trying to kind of figure it out? So employee engagement can be, we have a great employee engagement tool in our system. It can also be that maybe you need somebody to come in and kind of help define what your culture is, and And if any of you attending today had been on the webinar a couple months ago with Mark Weber, he really went over, some different things and what's important in culture and what's not important, and what to do and what not to do to get your staff engaged. So if you missed that webinar, definitely go on our site and rewatch it, or reach out and I'll get you connected with Mark, because he's a phenomenal resource in that aspect of things. But employee engagement in our system kind of hits on three different aspects. The first one is check-ins. So you can schedule check-ins for a select number of employees, a group of employees, a department of employees, or a certain employee individually. So it allows you to throw out a question, and these can be questions that you guys create. How do you think ownership is doing? As a company, do you feel like you know all of our benefits? Do you feel like you're a valued employee here? Those are just some suggestions or examples of different questions and check-ins that you can ask. But you can get very in depth too. If it's a certain department and you're having an issue with the department manager, maybe you need to ask, is there something going on that you're not aware of? So this will allow you at that point to kind of check in and get a gauge on things. People can respond. You'll get your responses back. And again, to tag on to that employee engagement webinar if you missed it, because that definitely includes a lot of great information. Second is the recognition wall. So the recognition wall is great because you can have employees recognize each other. So maybe somebody did something really great for the company or for a client, and somebody wants to give them a little shout out. So employees can recognize each other, but employers can also recognize certain employees, which is really cool. I think that's a nice feature. We all say great job to our peers, right? But do people really feel like they're being recognized for things? So it's a really great way to do that on the employee side again, or employer to employee. And then last is the suggestion box. And suggestion box is a way for companies to kind of get a good raw bit of information. This is stuff that is provided to you anonymously from your staff, and should it be something that you want to ask them, hey, this seems like it might be an issue. Can we maybe, get together and discuss this? Is there something that we need to talk about? Is this something we need to go over so that we can figure out what's going on? And so at that point, the employee can decide whether they want to show who they are, so that you can further the conversation. So it could just be that somebody suggests that you get different toilet paper in the bathroom. It can be very, very cut and dry. It can also be just random things as well. So suggestion box is the last part of employee engagement. And time clock. We're getting asked this a lot from clients lately, and I don't know if it's kind of a shift in the way things are being done internally or efficiencies being cleaned up, but time tracking is always a big part of running a business, and talking about efficiencies and what's efficient and what's not efficient, and the ability to be able to provide something to your client or your employees, that can help them to get a better grasp on their time as well. There's several different options. Most popular, I would say right now, is a lot of the web-based time clocks, just because we have a lot of clients that have employees on the go. Maybe they're not working internally, they're working remotely, and they need to be able to track their time at that point. So web-based clocks are very popular. That again is just on the computer. You can put it on any computer because it is web-based. It's not app-based. So put it on a computer. That way people can clock in and out. From that, it can be real-time clock in and clock out, but it can also be a digital time clock, which allows them to go in and input their own time. So if you're just kind of trying to track that, they can go in and put their own time in. And then the physical or wall clocks. So these are becoming more and more popular amongst our clients. And that is, we've listed some here you can see, but biometrics, hand scanners, GPS coordinate tracking, the PIN entry, given a 4-digit code, sometimes the last 4 of their social, sometimes their date of birth, but just a way to put in a PIN and It's just put it in and hit clock in, and then the same pin and hit clock out. Card scanners, I'm sure a lot of you have seen those. Key fobs, so something hooks on your keychain and you can just scan it in front of the scanner before you go in. So several different more options. Please reach out with any questions that you have on these, because these are, I mean, that's a whole different conversation and set of training, quite honestly. So definitely let us know any questions you guys have on those, and we'll get you a full list of the different options that we have and what the cost is for those. The best part about the time clocks, though, is that they're integrated with our payroll system. So there's no separate logging on or excuse me, sending in time cards or anything like that. It's all, an approval process on your side, so that we can pull it in for payroll processing. So definitely reach out to your payroll specialist if you have questions on that, and we'll get you some information. And then some good links, websites, resources. Our website is always a really great place to go. If you ever have questions on what Journey does, different services that they offer, anything like that, please feel free to jump onto our website. Our FAQ page is updated pretty much weekly with anything new that comes out. Candace in our office has done a phenomenal job with that, so please take advantage of that. The reason we do that is so that you guys have full and complete control over everything that you're utilizing with us. We want you to have the tools and widgets and the questions answered, most importantly. So please feel free to reach out to our FAQ page for videos, guides, demos, anything like that. Subscribing to our webinars and blogs. This is always a good way to get information on the latest that's going on with Journey or within our industry. We always invite people, different partners, to attend these and to put these on, so that it's not just us you guys are listening to, but great partners as well. So make sure you don't miss out on those. And reach out to your payroll specialists. They're going to be the ones that can help point you in the right direction. I know I've said that several times today, but I couldn't stress that more. You can reach out to them. You can also reach out to me. I'm a great resource for anything as well. Get you pointed in the right direction for anything that you might be looking for. So for those of you who may have missed it on the first slide, it's Ashlee, ASHLEE, the letter F as in Frank, at journeypayroll.com. And with that, we are done. Like I said, it was going to be a quick little highlight webinar here, but I do appreciate all of you attending. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day for this. So please reach out with any questions. There will be a recording posted. So if you missed part of this, I know we had some late attendees, but if you missed any of this, please feel free to rewatch it on our website or reach out and I'll get you the link. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful Memorial Day weekend.